Hello, Magic the Gathering players. This is Antitesh Ordo. Today I'm going to be covering some spoilers that I need to catch up on, so I apologize. I've just been really busy and have had no time to really get any recording done. So I just kind of want to just skim through a bunch of these cards. Some cards I will just skip, like any reprints or vanilla cards. So I'm going to go ahead and just get into it. So I'm going to go from the 8th to the 3rd. I did cover the April 3rd spoilers, but unfortunately April 3rd also had some cards released after I had done the recording, so that's why I'm going to the 3rd. So let's go ahead and get started. Evra, Halcyon Witness, 6 mana 4/4 avatar with lifelink. This seems like it's definitely going to be a more lifelink eccentric card. Exchange your life total with this creature with its power. So that's interesting. I will say that is for sure interesting. So you could, if you want to get this creature in, if it's like hex-proofed, it has a way of getting through unblockably, like, you know, the Shroud Cloak from Mirrodin block, where it has Shroud and unblockable, you know, and you decide to exchange the life total. You have 40, they have nothing, or like, they have a lot, or you have like 28 or something, and then you change it with the power of this, and then you just gain that 28 back. So you essentially just gain 4 life. That's exciting. It's very optional for a lifelink commander, so that's definitely viable for commander. Anywhere else I don't really see it, but we'll see. Dread Shade is one of the cycle of triple color, black, gets +1/+1. I feel like, yes, Shades should be supported more. I wouldn't mind seeing Shades and Specters from Black, as well as Rats, be more supported as a tribe, but unfortunately, they don't do that as much, which is fine at the same time. So we're getting this. It's not too bad. It's 3 mana, 3/3. It's on curve. So, Arcane Flight is just a Boggle card, any sort of aura enchantment card for Standard or Modern. Gets +1/+1 and has flying. That's really where we see it. And it's common, so Pauper as well. Definitely Pauper for sure. Academy Journey Mage. Just a simple, cost 1 less for Wizard and returns a creature. Nothing too exciting. Now this next couple of cards I'm really excited about. Cabal Stronghold. This is basically a more, I guess you could say, kind of a more fair and more, at the same time, a better version of Cabal Coffers. The reason why I say it's a little better is because of the added colorless, so it's not a useless land sitting on the field. But it also, you pay 3 instead of 2, excuse me, to add black for each basic swamp you control. Now this is basic swamp, not a swamp turned in from Urborg, from the sounds of it, but at least it's giving us a chance to, you know, get a swamp effect. So Modern's definitely gonna start using it. Commander, Commander's gonna love this card. Standard, we'll see if it actually is used. It probably is, especially with Josu Vess, Lich Knight, 4 mana, 4/5. You know, it's a really good card. It's also the brother of Liliana Vess. So he comes in with menace, but he also, if he's kicked, you get 8/2/2 Black Zombie Knights with menace in addition. A new zombie token is always nice to have once in a while, because we only have zombie tokens as 2/2s. We got a zombie wizard, you got like a 5/5 zombie, and I think a XX zombie, and now we have the knight zombie. So yeah, I like it. It's really good. Commander wise, gonna love it. Standard will be used. Modern, most maybe. If you're going zombie tribal, this would be a good one. Tetsuma, Umezawa's Fugitive. By lore, there was a Umezawa that was on Kamigawa. I'm trying to remember how to pronounce his name, but he was Honda Knight's Reach transferred him to, I guess, Dominaria, and that's where the family line goes from. So yeah, I read the book. So at the end of the book, he was transferred to Dominaria. Honden of Knight's, or not Honden, Myojin of Knight's Reach. Sorry about that. He actually, or she, planeswalked him in a sense over to this plane. Tetsuma Umezawa or something like that. So there was an Umezawa line. She's just part of it. The Antiquities War, it's basically two parts of, or a couple of different Tezzerets. Like the first ability is Tezzeret, I believe Tezzeret Agent of Bolas. And then the second one is, I think, an ultimate of the regular Tezzeret. So that's always that's exciting that we're getting that. Oh man, that's taking a while to load. So it's a good card, definitely good. You know, looking for the first two lore counters, you actually get a tutor a creature or artifact, not a creature, an artifact. So that's good. So definitely playable in modern and mostly, or not modern, Commander. A lot of things are played in Commander. This set wreaks havoc on external formats. Like, yes, you get it to play it in Standard, but there's so many good cards that Modern will pick up cards, and even Pauper and maybe some in Legacy, I'm not sure yet, as well, but majorly Commander. Commander's going to love this set. It's the best set for Commander. Again, Blessed Light Skip, Morrowind the Nurturer, 3-mana 1/1. Enters about whenever another elf enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on this, and then add an amount of mana equal to its power. This also, I feel like works similar to another elf, which I'm assuming, okay, it's not there. Okay. But there is another legendary elf that also, you know, puts +1/+1 counters on a creature or an elf, and they actually can tap for mana. So, Rite of Belsnock, 4-mana lore or saga. You know, for the first 2 turns, you create 2/0/1 black clerics, which hopefully they bring back clerics sometime in the near future. That'd be nice. And then 3, you create a 6/6 black demon creature with flying. And then at the beginning, they have to sacrifice, if you can, to deal 6 damage to you. So it's kind of like, whereas there's this one cleric that sacrificed itself to search for another demon back in the day. So this is a, you know, really good card. Just, it's really painful if you have no other creatures. They reprinted these, I guess, considered buddy lands, where as long as you have a swamp or a forest, they are come into play untapped. I like them. They didn't really need a major reprint, but it's nice that they're getting a reprint anyways. Definitely good for Standard and Commander, big sets. April 5th, Primeval's Glorious Rebirth. 7 mana to return all legendary permanent cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. I only see this really in Commander. It's definitely going to be a Commander-friendly card. It's definitely targeted for that set, or that format. As well as a lot of people are now... Oh, no, don't tell me. I'm having commercial issues on this site. I've recorded this 4 or 5 times. Anyways, sorry about that. Where was I? I'm going to actually turn down my volume, because you're hearing my mic, so it should actually eliminate that sound. I don't know. Anyways, going back to it, yeah, anyone that wants to do Legendary Tribal, knock yourself out. Legendary Permanent Tribal, enjoy. Naru Maya Master Wizard, 4 mana 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, copy a target instant sorcery, and you choose new targets. And then other wizards you control get +1/+1. I see this played a lot. It's nice that they're getting Wizard Tribal rekindled with this set. So hopefully future sets where we go back to other old planes, we actually get more tribes supported, more older tribes supported, so we can play with some of those older tribes, because I'd like to play with squirrels. There's not enough squirrels to really make it worth my while, other than like the squirrel enchantment. So hopefully there's a lot of tribes, you know, revisited, as well as some that just got started, you know, updated more. Next few cards I'm just skipping. A lot of these are just reprints. Drudge Sentinels, just like Drudge Skeletons, but it's 3 mana for Indestructible. I don't know. They got rid of regeneration. So I'm going unwind. Skip to unwind. Counter target non-creature spell and tap up to 3 lands. It's like oh, what's the other card? Rewind. That's why. Rewind. So it untaps mana. It untaps lands. So we'll see how that one works out. A lot of times you're casting this on your opponent's turn. So you play this, you untap, then you have mana for a couple more counter spells. Modern may use it. Hey, it's a lot cheaper than Rewind, for sure. Eldest Reborn. First Saga counter, each opponent sacrifices a creature or planeswalker, then each opponent discards a card. And then the third one, put target creature or planeswalker from a graveyard onto the battlefield under your control. It's kind of like a Raise Dead after making him sacrifice and discard. So it gives you a chance to, oh, okay, I'm going to see what I can take from any graveyard. That's nice. Lingering Phantom, 6 mana, 5/4. If you cast a historic spell, you may pay black and return this from graveyard to your hand. Nah. I'm just going to really skip that. Adventurous Impulse. I feel like this card is not as good as Commune with Nature. It's kind of like Commune with Dinosaurs, but Commune with Nature is just better. They could have just reprinted Commune with Nature there. Dampening Sphere. This is a big one. This is a big one. It's a sideboard card. Huge sideboard card. 2 mana. If land is tapped for 2 or more mana, it produces a colorless instead of any type, and then each player casts for each spell a player casts costs 1 more to cast for each other spell that was cast this turn. So this hits Storm and Tron. So for Modern Standard, I don't know what it's really going to hit. It's going to be one of those slow down control cards, so it slows them down. So any land that actually taps for 2, 3, 4 mana, so it shuts down Cabal Coffers. It shuts down Cabal Stronghold. There's a lot of cards that shut this down. The Tron lands. If they made a few more cards similar to this and threw it into Modern, I bet they'd be safe to bring back. I could be wrong, but bring back. Oh, what's that card called? Cloud Post, because this card would be just so used. So, But for the most part, yeah, this shuts down those. It doesn't really 100% shut them down. It slows it. Well, Storm, it shuts down completely. As long as this is out, they can't combo off, period. Or they can only combo off for like 2, maybe 3 spells. That's it. For Tron, it just slows them down. Makes it more of a generic deck where the stuff they cast costs 5, 6, 7 to 10, 15, whatever. Grand Warlord Rada, 4 mana, 3/4 haste. When one or more creatures you control attacks, add that much mana in any combination of red or green. Until end of turn, you don't lose that mana. So it's just one of those red, green elf warriors that does that. Modern, I feel like Bloodbraid still fits the 4 mana slot. But Commander, it's definitely Commander viable. Goblin Chain Whirler, 3 mana for a 3/3 first strike. Enters battlefield, does 1 damage to each opponent and each creature and planeswalker they control. Kills tokens. It's a goblin card that kills tokens. So it really shuts down token decks and token strategies in Modern. Goblins are really, with this set, I feel like goblins are really going to pick up a lot of bonuses. Joda Archmage Eternal. A 1, blue, red, white, flying 4/3, and then you may cast all 5 colors rather than pay the mana cost. So you can cast this you could use this ability to cast Progenesis for 5 instead of 10, which is just double that. So Emrakul at this cost, it's a lot. Oh, Commander, they don't have Emrakul, but you get the picture. You get anything that costs really big, ends up costing only 1 of each color. Varric's Bladewing, 4 mana, 4/4 flying, and then when it enters the battlefield, if it was kicked for 7, you get another 4/4 legendary with flying. That's a dragon. It's okay. Standard and Commander, really. Modern has a better 4 mana slots. This could also work as a 7 mana anyways. So, Urgoros, the empty one. It's a 6 mana, 4/3 Spectre. Not much to talk about on this guy. He dies easy, and it's nice that there's you know, some Spectre support. I would like to see Spectre tribal someday. Daring Archaeologist, 4 mana, 3/3, enters battlefield. Return target artifact from a graveyard to your hand, and then whenever you cast a storage spell, it gets +1/+1 counters. Not much to say about that. It's definitely going to be useful in Commander, for sure. Standard, yes. Modern, I don't know. Mono War Envy, 3 mana, 3/2, that you have to pay 1 and a green just to add 1 mana of any color. Maybe it's good as filtering, but it's better as a 3 mana, 3/2. I don't see it being played really anywhere except limited as the body. Or the mana fixing random times. Precognition Field, 4 mana. Enchantment, look at the top card of your library. You may cast the card if it's an instant sorcery, and then you exile the top card of your library. So it's okay. It's really good as a, like I said, again, Commander staple. Yeah. Standard, maybe. It's really good. It's kind of like Oracle Moldiah. It allows you to cast instant sorceries. Oracle does the lands, so it has that similarity. So let's go ahead and cover April 4th. Gilded Lotus. Add 3. It's just a reprint. Nothing much to talk about. Helm of the Host. At the beginning of your turn, create a token that's a copy of equipped creature, except the token isn't legendary, and if the equipped creature is legendary, then that token gains haste. Much to talk about there. Oath of Teferi. We got another oath. It's exciting. That I like the idea of adding more and more oaths over time. So if anyone wants to do a full 100% Planeswalker tribal, oaths will definitely be played as well. Enters battlefield, exile another target permanent, return to the battlefield. So it's just a blink effect at the end of the next step. And then you may activate loyalty abilities, Planeswalkers you control twice each turn. That's really good. That is really good. So definitely fun for Planeswalker tribal, or Super Friends, is what a lot of people call it. Bard, whatever it is. So 4 mana, 2/4 soldier. Creature you control can't attack, or a Planeswalker you control unless they pay 1. So it's another, Pillow Fort card. It's definitely good for Pillow Fort Commander. Modern, I don't see it being played standard. I can see it being some sort of blue-white control spell or shell. This is actually a card that, unfortunately, it's legendary, so it only hits 1. They have to pay 1 each time. But if they are a all-in aggro where they have 5-6 creatures, they can only attack with 1 or 2 because they're already casting spells, or they may be short on mana, etc. Two-headed giant, 4 mana, 4/4, and you flip a coin. Both comes up heads. Gains double strike. If both comes up tails, gains menace. So you're getting an effect if it's both heads or both tails. It's okay. Grun, the Lonely King. I have talked about him in one of the leaked videos that I was working on. 6 mana, 5/5. If it was kicked, enters battlefield, 5/++ counters. When it attacks alone, double its power and toughness. Not much to say. I will say it's nice that we get to see some more ape love as well. And he kind of has a resemblance of, the picture has a resemblance of Grodd with like a larger version of Thor's hammer. Kind of cool. Skipping that one. Slyn Voda, the Rising Deep. 8 mana, 8/8. If it was kicked, enters the battlefield. Return all creatures to their owner's hands except for merfolk, krakens, leviathans, octopus, and serpents. Awesome. So a sea tribal deck can be made, and this is definitely a good legendary version card for that. On top of the fact it also works as the 99 as well. Also, it looks like a creature that you can find in the game Subnautica. That's becoming really popular as a survival card game. So that's nice. The memorials are really good. I think the 3 that'll be played mostly is Memorial to War, Genius, and Unity. Really is where I could see those most likely being used. And modern, especially for Commander. Outside of that, I don't see them really used much. Divest is a really good card. It is 2 cards in 1. And it doesn't show them. I know there was someone that posted it. But there was, in Mirrodin, they had one that did the same thing, but it was for artifacts. And then there was Despise. It's kind of, well, there wasn't Ostracized. That's what it was. Ostracized, and then the card from the Mirrodin block. They're combined into one, and it's a common. So Pauper loves this card to death, especially since you could play 4 of these and 4 duress in any black deck, and you got a lot of bases covered with just 8 discard spells. You know, and you could go 2/2 or 3-in-1, or you know, whatever combination you wish in the main, and then as well as the rest of the sideboard. Modern may pick it up. We'll see, but it hits artifacts. That's the big thing. Hits artifacts. Get to Chronicle. I'm not going to really talk about these last 2. So these, the last card I covered in a video was Lyra Dawnbringer. So I'm going to cover these last 8, and then I will call it good on this video. So Adeliz, the Cinder Wind, 3-mana 2/2, haste. Whenever you cast its sorcery, wizards get +1/+1. So it's a pumping lord for wizards whenever you cast its sorcery. So that's good. We'll get to see that come out even more in the future. Commander-wise, definitely is an option. Especially a lot of the, I'm going to just say this, all the uncommon commanders, legendary creatures are definitely more budget-friendly for Commander, which is a really good thing. I think that's the reason why they've been doing this, is making them uncommon, so it's easier to get. You know, they're cheaper effects, and they could be used as cheap, effective commanders. Karn, Sign of Urza, 4 mana with 5 loyalty. This is kind of like some of the Tezzeret effects and stuff, but reveal the at least the last. Oh no, never mind. But anyways, reveal the top 2 cards of your library. An opponent chooses one of them. Put that card into your hand, and exile the other one with a silver counter on it. You -1 to cast that card. Or no, put it into your hand, and as long as it has a silver counter, put a card you own with the silver counter on it from exile into your hand. So Karn, that works with all 4 Karns, so one dies, the next one comes in and can still grab it. Create a 0/0 colorless construct artifact. It's +1/+1 for each artifact you control. That's an artifact version of Karn. A lot of people are thinking of a bigger, better Karn than what we already have. So definitely stay tuned for that. I'm gonna skip Siege Gang and War Chief. Yes, they're reprinted. War Chief's first time in Modern. May see some play with Siege Gang. Yeah, a lot of the Goblin decks are fast anyways, so not much to talk about them. Just standard, they're just going to be definitely played for sure. And Goblin War Chief having another reprint's good for Commander. Myrtoltha, the Gravetide, 6 mana, 6/6. During each of your turns, you may play up to 1 permanent card of each type from your graveyard. So that's nice. So you can play a land. The reason why they say play instead of cast is because of the land effect. You play a land, you can play Planeswalker, creature, an artifact, enchantment. You're set. Definitely a good commander. Definitely a good commander. Honestly, another reason why I wouldn't mind using this as a commander is for a deck that I want to use with all 3 colors for a clone deck, because there's a lot of clone effects between blue, green, and black. Daggar's Reincarnated. It's a dragon from the original, some of the original sets from Dominaria. 7 mana for 7/7 flying trample haste. If it were to die, instead exile with egg counters, of course. And if the egg dies, or with the egg counters, once it's gone, it comes back. So it's just that simple of a card. Commander viable, yeah, definitely another Jund Dragon effect. Dauntless Bodyguard, 1 mana, 2/1 knight. It's a knight. Enters battlefield, choose another creature you control, and you sacrifice this to give that creature indestructible. That's just a bodyguard. It's really good. It's definitely viable for a knight deck in Modern, so we'll see if anyone tries to run knights in Modern as a tier 2, tier 3. Then the last card is Seal Away. It's basically a instant speed Journey to Nowhere, but on top of the as a downside, it has to be tapped. The creature has to be tapped. Definitely going to be used. It's a good card. It's a good card. So, but yeah, that's from April 8th to the 3rd. I did what I can to rush through, skipped a bunch of cards, and I'm going to be covering the rest later in other videos. Today, April 11th, we've had spoilers up to now, so I'm going to try to catch up on those. Again, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you guys think of the cards that have been spoiled up to April 11th, and in the comments below, and have a wonderful day.